I am Tammy Beilstein. Welcome to Tammy's Window on Calaveras. I am here tonight with one of my dear, dear friends. Her name is Julie Shelby. We used to work together years ago for hospice. We both still work for hospices, but we're just in different places. And oh, this woman is amazing. And she belongs to a group with a lot of other amazing women, and they're called Mountain Melody. And that's what she's here to talk with us about tonight. Julie, it's been a while since you've been here.
Yes.
So let's go back to the beginning. Who started this group? Why did you guys put it together? And were you an original member?
Most definitely, I am an original member. I am the director.
Awesome.
Yes, and back in 2005, I was working with another nurse, and she happened to comment that she had a few girlfriends who loved to sit around the piano and sing. And the more we talked, the more we realized how much we both were very involved in music. And she said, well, we've often thought of being a group. Would you lead us?
Oh.
And in a moment of weakness, I said, why, yes.
And of course you did.
That's
you.
Yeah. I could hardly pass up a singing opportunity. So it was great fun. So we started with 7 people and 1 man.
Oh.
And
I
it was
didn't
going
realize
to
you
be.
guys had men in your
we
group?
don't.
Okay.
But my friend said, oh, it was women. It was a women's chorus.
Yeah.
That's my background specifically. And she said, oh, well, can I bring my friend Dawn?
Uh-huh.
I said, sure, thinking Dawn.
Dawn, D-A-W-N?
W-N, but no. It was a fine young man named Dawn.
Uh-huh.
And anyway, so he stayed with us for about 6 months and said, enough of this. So, so this is too hard. I have to memorize music.
Oh,
so he went on to
man.
do his own wonderful thing. So
That's neat.
we started from there, a very small group, and got better and better. And now we're in our 10th year.
Wow.
And we are a chorus that is, membership is by audition only.
Ooh.
And so we have very talented women in the group.
Yeah.
And we grow every year in experience, if not in number of members.
Oh, that's
and
neat.
so we are celebrating our 10th anniversary this year. So it's a very special year.
Congratulations. That is
Thank
really
you.
cool. So do you hold your auditions on a certain date and time, or just as people come along and say they're interested, you give them a little tryout?
I give them tryouts prior to each performance session, and we have 2 sessions a year, performance sessions a year, a holiday session in December and a spring session.
Okay.
And so as folks come along, we really work too hard during a particular session to have someone come in the middle.
In the middle,
They'd
yeah.
have to do so much catch up, it wouldn't be
That makes
possible.
sense.
So I audition in the summer, and I audition in early January or in December. So
Very
folks
cool.
are always welcome to be in touch with me, no matter what the amount of experience they have in music.
Yeah.
I have a lot of folks who have never sung in a choir per se.
Yeah.
I have folks who have had an extensive amount of choral singing, but almost everyone has some sort of formal music experience,
Yeah.
either with instruments or jazz singing or folk singing or church choir singing.
Wow.
And those who don't have formal backgrounds in that come and learn as we go.
That is so neat. Now, you mentioned instruments. Do you guys have instruments that play while you're singing, or is it just your voices?
We do some a cappella music, which is without any
No music,
accompaniment.
okay.
But most of our pieces are accompanied by piano. And Marge Biaggi Castro has been with us for 9 years, I believe, and she's just stellar. We couldn't be where we are without her.
That is so neat.
And we have a saxophone player that has accompanied us once or twice, and we have a flautist who has performed with us several times, accompanying us, and percussion, so we're up to whatever we can find to fit the music.
That is so neat. Do you play any instrument?
Yes, but I wouldn't do it in front of people. So.
Oh, that is. I wish I could sing. I can't. I wish I could. When I sing, I sound like a man. It's
That's okay. We
my-
call you a
You'd call me Dawn. You'd
mighty
get me all
alto. Yes.
Dawn's back. Yeah.
You look okay. You can join now. Yeah.
Oh, that is so cool. So I see here you guys have a performance coming up. Do you do maybe, 5 or 6 a year? I mean, a season? Is that how it goes?
Anywhere from, our average lately has been 3 performances a session.
A session.
And then
okay.
we always get some add-ons at the last minute, and so at more casual affairs. For instance, this session we have 3 major performances, and then we also will be singing at a farmer's market in Columbia.
Oh, nice.
And we are singing at a McCullummy River project, which we can talk about in
Yes,
just a
tell
little
me-
bit about
tell
this.
me about that.
Well, this wonderful project, I don't know the specifics of how it got initiated, but I do know that the arts councils of a few of the counties around here started a McCullummy River project, which involved inviting all sorts of artists of various types, potters, painters,
Yeah.
poets, guitarists,
Yeah.
and singers,
What a great
anyone
idea.
to bring an original work to this project that focused on the McCullummy River. And we are delighted to have one of the artists in our group. Lee Davis is a wonderful singer and a very creative woman, and she composed a song for the McCullummy River project, and it's beautiful. And we sang already at one of the events for the McCullummy River project. It was sort of the premiere of her song, and we'll
Oh,
be
I bet
singing
they
that
loved that.
again at another McCullummy River project as well event, as well as at all our performances.
Oh, what a-
Very exciting.
Oh, that's so nice. You guys are so talented in so many ways. I think artistic
indeed.
people just get it, right? I mean, you guys can
Yes.
do so much with so many different mediums, right?
It's
Artists,
true.
music, singing. It sounds like you guys just are so
And now
creative.
we have a choreographer in our midst, and so we're doing a little soft shoe, which we have
Really?
never been brave enough to do before she joined us this year. So
Ooh.
that's wonderful.
How fun is that? That's going to be
That's
so
great
neat.
fun.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
neat. So, let's see. So tell me about this coming up. You guys have, I'm going to show this flyer. Are these around town now? People
Yes,
should be
they
looking
are
for these.
around the county.
Okay.
Yes, and our first performance, official performance, is May 2nd, and it is in San Andreas here at the Community Covenant Church at 4 o'clock, and it will be lovely. Our second performance is May 3rd at 3 o'clock at Aerial View Winery
Oh,
in Douglas Flat.
okay.
And then on Mother's Day, May 10th, we will be singing at 3 o'clock in the afternoon at Outer Isle Restaurant in Murphy's.
Oh, I've never heard of that. Is that right on the main street?
It is. It's on Highway 4.
Okay.
Just before you cruise into town.
Oh, how nice.
And it's a lovely restaurant, and we sang there last spring as well. And it's a delightful venue. And at Christmas time, we sang there.
I don't see a price on your flyer. Are these?
These are free concerts,
free.
and donations are most definitely welcome.
I was going to ask you about that because I know whenever anyone does any sort of volunteer work or even something like this that they love to do, maybe get a little bit of a stipend, it still is hardly ever enough to cover your costs for
Indeed.
the travel, the time you might be taking off of work or from doing something else that you want to do, even your outfits and all of that. So how do you guys pay for all of this?
Well, through donations, as well as the singers pay each session to sing with us.
Okay.
I am not paid. It's not a paid position. Our pianist is not paid. So we really rely on donations a great deal because we have to have insurance.
Right.
We have to pay for our performance venues. We have to pay for a rehearsal space. And the biggest
Wow.
cost is music. We buy all the music.
You have to buy
And
the music?
Oh, yes, my goodness sakes. Yep.
I didn't know that's how that works.
Yeah. And so it's not cheap
Yeah.
to have a group be up and running. And we have outfits that we do buy when we need to, and we buy adornments, scarves. We have some vests that we use that we have not had to pay for. And then the ladies supply the basic outfit. Basically, we dress in black,
Okay.
and then we have layers of bright clothing that we put on.
that's a good
over.
idea.
So that's nice.
So besides donations of, excuse me, of money, would it help if someone donated the place for you guys to practice or for you to perform? Or do you just meet at your own homes and do that sort of thing?
Well, no, we have 23 singers, and so
23,
we rehearse at the San Andreas or Calaveras High School music room.
Okay.
Yes, because we really are too big for
Yeah.
a proper rehearsal at a home. At least we haven't found homes thus far that
Right,
can
that
fit
can
us all.
hold y'all.
We rehearse every week for 2.5 hours, and it's quite a formal rehearsrsal. We have a lot of music.
Wow.
We memorize our music, which is mandatory in my group.
Yeah.
Because
No cheat sheets? Or
no cheat sheets.
no Sarah Palins for the...
I know. Well,
Like this.
of course, we always wonder, the back rows always want the front rows to have words on their backs,
Right.
you know.
That's a
so
good
that-
idea.
Yes. And check the ink on the pad, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'd be thinking too.
But it has been my experience as a singer that to not have an external boundary between myself and the conductor and myself and the audience is much more satisfying for myself.
Right.
And as an audience member, I have seen both types of performances, and it's a much more intimate experience to have singers who are not having a binder between
Right.
them and me.
Right.
So
And, knowing
I
you,
really
you would,
experience that.
I can see that you would think of something like that. People who don't perform that way, I never have. I never even thought about that sort of thing. But you're such a people person, and I know that you are really big on making relationships and that sort of thing. And so I can see where you would think of that, and it would be a good idea. That's wonderful.
It is great. It's something that I feel strongly about. I've sung in both types of venues.
Yeah. I think that we should, how about we take a second, or a couple minutes, and
Okay.
listen to, watch a little clip from one of your older performances.
Older performances.
Do you know when this was
I
exactly?
don't know. It's been 2 or 3 years at least since I've been here, so this is at least 4 years old.
Okay.
At least.
So there may be
And-
some people in the video who aren't there anymore, and
Oh,
some
indeed.
new ones that have
Indeed.
come on. Okay, well, let's take a look at it.
Okay.
Well, slip me a slug of that wonderful bug, and I'll cut a rug till I'm snug in a bug. A slice of onion and a raw
wanted to keep watching.
I know, it's so fun. And we're performing that song this year, too.
Oh, that is so
It's
cool.
one of our favorites, so that's what our concerts this year is
Yeah.
made up of, is we took votes
On the favorite songs?
on favorite songs,
Yeah.
and so this was one of them.
And I was going to ask you about that. I'd forgotten until I saw that little clip about, do you ever have one person who has their own solo or during your groups, and or if everyone's always singing together? But that was really cool. And that lady had sort of a deep voice, and I was thinking, maybe I can sing with
See,
you.
I'm telling you, if you sing in the shower, I'm saying, see me, yeah.
I sang in the phone once. I did Swing Low, Sweet Chariot.
Ooh,
And
nice.
I sent it to my kids, and I was like, guess who that is? They thought it was some old man. I'm not
That's
kidding.
great.
It's so neat.
Oh,
You know
wonderful.
what I really liked about your group there is you guys, I mean, you're formal in that you all know your part and your role and everybody is right on, but you guys are not stiff at all. That looks like fun.
It is fun, and it's also remarkable how much work it takes to get to that point.
To look comfortable?
To look comfortable. And these women are so dedicated. It's hard to relax if you don't know your music.
Right.
And these women work so hard on getting these songs into their souls. And
that's
that's
so
part of,
cool.
again, not having this to rely
Yeah.
on. You internalize
just know
music
it.
much more. You get more to the feeling of the music and
Yeah.
the emotion. And then we work a lot at, okay, now it's time for us to have fun too. Because people come to a performance not just to hear music. They can do that on the radio.
On the radio, yeah.
They come to see and
Yeah.
to feel, and it's a much fuller experience than just hearing.
Right.
And they do. They have wonderful faces. I get the best view because I
You
am
get
up
to
close
see.
and get to see everyone. And it's so many of the women on certain songs, this person just beams or really feels. And
Yeah.
on another song, hits that one.
That
and
is
it's
so
just
neat.
wonderful. Sometimes we're drawn to tears when we are singing. We do some very powerful emotional music. And when that happens, I know from experience, being on the singer side of things, that you just let the emotion come, you stay professional, mouth the music a little bit, let the tears roll, and then when your voice comes back, then you enter back in again. But it adds so much to
Right.
feel what you're singing.
Oh,
but to
very
do
much.
that well, one has to pay attention to technique of singing and learning the music well enough so it can be internalized, and then you can get to the point of being emotional
Yeah.
about the music.
Yeah.
If we're worried, like studying for a test, we're not going to be able to
Exactly.
feel what we're doing. And
Yeah.
these women, they come to rehearsals every week. We have sectionals that are not mandatory, but these women make time to go, sometimes weekly, to work
Wow.
on parts themselves. And I like to go to sectionals. I get not to lead then, and I
yeah.
get to sing the
Then you
parts
get to
that aren't
relax.
there, so I like that too.
Very good.
But most of the women are working women. We're all, generally speaking, middle-aged, some older. We have a few young women in the group
When you say
who are
young,
terrific.
how young? Do you have to be over a certain age to be in the group?
16.
16, okay.
But we have women now in their 20s, and most of us are middle-aged, some of us a little older, and it's just wonderful. But so we come exhausted
Yeah.
to rehearsal because
You
we're
guys
at the
have
end
lived
of
your
a
whole-
day.
Your lives, your
you
work,
know,
your families, everything.
and then we leave exhausted, but usually exhilarated.
Yeah.
And I just have nothing but real respect for all the ladies who were in the group because they work so hard to make this happen.
cool.
And that's why we're good.
Yeah.
And we're getting better every year.
You guys were so good. I saw you guys once in a church. Might have been the one in San Andreas, and I think it may have been a Christmas
Could be.
thing that you did. But it was amazing. It was so amazing. And you're right. You feel the music. It's so completely different from watching it, even right here on a screen. To be there and experience it live, in person, and just the people in the audience too. It's so neat. It's so different to be there and in person. I hope that there's a lot of people that will come and see your performances.
Well, I certainly hope so
They
too.
need to at least once. I want to go back. You just gotta
Good,
try it.
good,
Yeah.
yes. You know, you were talking about how some women do solos.
Yeah.
And certainly we audition for solos as well. And for a long time, we didn't have confidence or the talent, the specific talent to carry a piece as the main singer. For instance, we're doing this song this year called Operator that Manhattan Transfer has done. And anyone who knows that piece, it's a very jazzy, southern sort of piece, but it has a soloist who sings the main song,
Okay.
and the entire choir are the backup girls.
Wow.
And a husband of one of our original members had recommended this song years ago. And I got the song, looked at it, reviewed it, and said, you know, we're just not ready to do that yet, because I didn't have a singer in the group that
need the
could
right
carry a main solo.
Right.
We have beautiful voices in the chorus who do, and we have lots of solos, and so it's lovely to hear the individual voices. It's just great. But this required talent enough to be able to carry the entire song.
Right.
And we had one woman who sang it for a few years and did a fabulous job, and then she moved out of the state, actually, and then we were fortunate enough to have another woman come
very
who
good.
could pick up the song, and so we'll be doing that one again this
Oh,
session
that's going to
too.
be fun to hear.
So we have such talented women.
Now, what if someone, because I bet this has happened, if it hasn't, it's going to. If someone goes in and sees you guys, loves your work, and wants to hire you for something private or personal, maybe a wedding or a party at their home, can they do that?
Absolutely. In fact, we have sung for a wedding.
Oh, neat.
It was just lovely, and this happened in Columbia a couple of years ago, and we have sung definitely we are for hire.
Good.
We have sung at home shows, holiday home tours, and then we have been at the
Perfect.
final home. And that's been lovely. We've also done home shows where we have been invited to do a formal concert at a home.
If
and
someone
that's been
wants to
lovely.
contact you for something like that, do you have a phone number that they can?
Yes, it is my phone number, and it is 754-4783.
Okay.
We also have our website, which is www.mountainmelody.org.
Okay.
And we also have a blog.
Ooh, nice.
So we have very talented behind the
guys have a
scenes people.
Facebook page?
We do.
Good.
Yes, indeed we do.
Good.
So
On your Facebook page, I hope you have a little section there where we can go and check to see if there is anything we can donate to you guys. I saw you had your coffee cups in that in that one song
we have fun
there.
with props.
Yeah,
yes.
so if you need something like that, please put it on there.
That's
so,
a good
So people
idea.
like me who
Good
maybe don't
idea.
have a lot of money or something to send to you, I can maybe help find something that you might need.
Excellent. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Good idea.
So what have been some of your favorite performances that you remember?
Well, I should say one was very special, and this was, gosh, I don't know, maybe not this last couple of years, but several years ago when we had snow. And we were performing at the, let's see, I think it's the First Congregational Church in Murphy's, the very small white church
Yeah.
that is right off the main drag there. And it was a late afternoon performance, and it had been snowing outside, and so we were warming up, and in the middle of our warm-up prior to the performance, the electricity went out. And so the pastor was just lovely. He said, "Oh, no worries," and he just got candles and started putting candles out at all the
how
pews.
perfect.
And someone donated a flashlight so I could have a flashlight on my music stand, and Marge could have a flashlight on her music at the piano. And then the women, so they could see me, but of course they are not using music, so they didn't need to be reading
Right.
anything. So it was a very intimate concert.
that
It was
sounds
just
so
lovely
nice.
and cozy, and it's a beautiful church to begin with. And,
Yeah.
and that was really quite special.
Oh, that sounds so perfect. I could picture it as you were speaking.
Oh,
how
it
neat.
was very nice. And
Is there any place you haven't played yet that you really want
oh
to?
gosh, Not that I can think of, but I will say that we have played at Big Trees State Park
nice,
last spring at Jack Knight Hall, and that was fabulous. And we look forward, that was a benefit for Big Trees. And we look forward to singing there a year from now.
A year from
Hopefully,
now,
yes,
okay.
Next spring. We have sung at the Bret Harte Theater in conjunction with a couple other groups.
That's a beautiful theater. Yeah.
It is very nice. Also up at Bear Valley, golly, this was years and years ago at the Bear Valley Music Festival. We were the opening act outside. We weren't on stage for, I believe it's Boys Night Out.
Ooh, sounds
And so
fun.
it was great fun. So they came out and schmoozed with us for a little while.
Oh, that sounds so
that
fun.
was fun. But we're always looking for new venues and new groups to perform for. So we're open to all sorts of suggestions. In the future, I really hope to have us be able to do a little more traveling. I personally have participated in international choral festivals and competitions, and I definitely think that we are ready to get out of the very local area just so we can expand
wouldn't that be
who's able to
exciting?
share in our music.
Yeah, that would be so exciting. I should have asked you that. Are you guys, you're mainly Calaveras and Tuolumne? Or Amador?
Amador, we have one person from Amador, but we're very local. We are mostly Calaveras, women, and from all over Calaveras County, and it's amazing the talent here.
Yeah.
I keep being impressed, and people who have moved up here for quality of life.
Right.
But they miss the music groups that they have been part of wherever they have come from, and they hear us and they say, I need to be part of this. And it's just been lovely.
That is so neat. Oh, we're getting close to running out of time. We only have a couple minutes left. But I'm thinking as you were talking, if you guys have some sort of faraway event, something that's going to cost you a lot of money, please put up a GoFundMe page or something where we can help you. That would be
really wonderful.
Neat. And because I don't know, like I said, I can't do what you do, and I so respect what you guys do. Not only your talent, but that you guys take the time and all the energy to do all of this, and then give it to the rest of us. That is just so neat, and I couldn't help in a huge way. But boy, if you guys have something like that up where you have an event, something you're working toward, I'd love to do what I can.
Oh, well, thank you. That's a wonderful idea because every little bit helps, as we know.
Yeah, and sometimes those things take off. You never know.
Yeah.
And like,
Who
whoa,
knew?
we can all go around the world.
That's right.
That would be so neat.
Right.
I am so glad you were here. Again, quickly, the dates for your upcoming performances. May 2nd in San Andreas, May 3rd, Douglas Flat, and May 10th in Murphy's. Go to their website to get all the details or call Julie to get the answers you need to any of your questions. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time on Tammy's Window on Calaveras.